The fallout from Disney's Snow White remake has turned into a full-blown disaster, just as many industry insiders had predicted. What's unfolding now is exactly what skeptics warned about. Hollywood executives and cast members are scrambling to shift blame, with Rachel Zegler becoming the prime scapegoat for the film's dismal performance.
There's no doubt that she drove the final nail into this movie's coffin. She probably drove the final 2 or 3 nails into the coffin.
I think Rachel Zegler was miscast. I'm not trying to be shady, but when you see the pictures of her as Snow White, you're like, that's Snow White? What was she? Like, she doesn't look happy, she's not really smiling.
The Snow White remake has become one of the most controversial and disastrous projects in Disney's modern history, exactly as many industry observers had predicted. At the center of the storm is Rachel Zegler, whose involvement in political discourse, particularly online, has become a flashpoint for the film's failure. A recent Variety expose shed light on the behind-the-scenes chaos, beginning with Zegler's August Instagram post in support of Palestine, shortly after Disney's D23 event. The post, which reached around 9 million views, reportedly stunned Disney executives. According to Variety, producer Mark Platt flew to New York to demand Zegler remove the post, a demand she refused. The situation was further complicated by the fact that Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, is Israeli. This created significant tension between the film's 2 leads. Sources claim Zegler has been considered difficult since her West Side Story debut, and her post allegedly triggered threats against Gadot, forcing Disney to increase security at events. The Variety report portrayed Zegler as someone who failed to grasp the ramifications of her actions, quoting an insider who said, "She didn't understand what it meant for the film, for Gal, for anyone." Many saw the article as a calculated attempt to shift blame for Snow White's failure onto Zegler's shoulders. But the controversies didn't stop there. After Donald Trump's recent election victory, Zegler posted a scathing message calling for no peace for Trump supporters and expressing despair over 4 more years of hatred. In doing so, she managed to alienate audiences across the political spectrum, offending conservatives while also drawing criticism from parts of the left for her Palestine stance. Even before these controversies, Snow White faced backlash over its creative departures from the original 1937 classic. These political firestorms, however, created the perfect storm. The film now holds a dismal 1/810 user score, worse than Dragon Ball Evolution. Its global box office opening of $82 million is catastrophic for a project that reportedly cost between $250 and $350 million. For context, it opened $34 million below Joker, Folie à Deux, despite costing $70 million more. One studio executive didn't hold back. You can't spend $270 million on the most iconic film in Disney's vault and open it $50 million. The math doesn't work. That should be a billion-dollar movie. What's fueling public outrage even more is the perception of a double standard. While Zegler faced internal backlash for her Palestine post, Gadot made public comments supporting Israel and faced no apparent studio discipline. This inconsistency has raised accusations of selective enforcement based on political alignment. Zegler's reputation as difficult isn't new. During Snow White's production, she publicly criticized Disney for not inviting her to the 2022 Oscars, despite her role in Best Picture nominee West Side Story. Sources say Disney had initially denied her request due to scheduling conflicts in London, but she went public with her frustration. Only after her complaints did the Academy offer her a ticket. This narrative of a young actress seen as ungrateful to Spielberg and Disney has fueled the backlash. Critics say Zegler violated an unspoken Hollywood rule: never challenge the machine. Her vocal political stances, coupled with public criticisms of the studio, were seen as professionally reckless. Ironically, she once publicly criticized Gina Carano for her controversial social media posts, only to now find herself in a similar, if not worse, position. Despite the media backlash, public sentiment may be shifting. Zegler has received praise on social media for standing by her beliefs in the face of immense pressure. Supporters admire her integrity and defiance, especially at just 23 years old. Others, however, argue that being young doesn't excuse political naivete, particularly when leading a multi-million-dollar franchise. The consequences may be long-lasting. In an industry where reputation is currency, Zegler may find herself frozen out of leading roles. Studios are notoriously risk-averse, and controversy can take not just one actor, but entire productions. Insiders suggest she may be relegated to smaller projects or secondary roles in the future. Disney's own reaction has been telling: promotional. Materials for Snow White are reportedly being pulled from public spaces, even though the film just opened. This rapid drawdown suggests Disney has already written off the project as a loss. Looking forward, this debacle could prompt tighter control over actors' social media activity. Industry analysts predict more restrictive clauses in contracts, barring political posts during promotional cycles. Studios may no longer tolerate stars voicing controversial opinions while representing billion-dollar brands. Meanwhile, tensions between Zegler and Gadot have reportedly worsened. According to sources, the two no longer speak, and Zegler's alleged comment referring to Gadot as a professional pageant queen during an Oscars event reportedly caused further strain. Ultimately, Snow White is a cautionary tale for studios, for actors, and for audiences. Disney bet on a legacy property, expecting a guaranteed success, but misread both the market and the mood. The film's failure comes at a precarious time for the company, which has suffered from multiple flops and growing criticism that it's out of touch with audiences. The deeper lesson may be about the role of politics in entertainment. Hollywood presents itself as progressive, yet reacts harshly when stars step out of line. Actors have unprecedented platforms, but also face enormous risks when using them. As one insider put it, audiences want to be entertained, not lectured. They'll forgive a bad movie before they'll forgive feeling disrespected. For Zegler, the road ahead is uncertain. She may emerge as a symbol of integrity to some, but in an industry that values predictability, she's now seen as a risk. And in Hollywood, risk is the one thing studios fear most.